Hello and welcome to That Shooting Show. My name is Steve Anderson. I am, as always, your humble host. We are a proud sponsor of Walther Firearms, who's the title sponsor of not only this program, but of AndersonShooting.com in general, and of course the great and mighty Jay Beal, Walther Firearms. Go check out a Walther PDP steel frame. If you don't like it, they'll give you your money back. It's amazing. And of course, CR Speed manufactures the finest gun handling gadgetry you can wrap around your waist or anywhere else. Hunter's HD Gold is the only eyewear that I wear, and I am aware I am not wearing eyewear. But if I was wearing eyewear, Hunter's HD Gold would be the only eyewear that I would wear that I'm aware of. And of course, the AMG-Lab.com Commanderson timer continues to turn heads and blow minds by putting that there time into that there tablet. Targets USA manufactures the finest steel targetry on the planet. OutdoorDynamics.net remanufactures the finest competition ammunition you can dispense from a Freedom Seed dispenser. And Shooting Sports Innovations is, as always, a lot to type because there is a lot to see. And speaking of a lot to see, if you go to AndersonShooting.com and click on upcoming classes, there is so much to see. We just added Mental Management Online August 6th. 13th and 20th at 2 p.m., 6 p.m., or 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're in a funky time zone, you folks in Africa and other parts of the world that are hours ahead of the U.S., that 2 p.m. time slot, if you're in Africa, that puts you at 8 p.m. That's pretty handy. It's pretty lekker. And I'm not aware of all the other time zones that are in that area, but I would imagine countries that are in that region would also be similarly affected by a similar time zone, one would expect. So that's coming up. That is 3 2-hour classes. That is the complete mental game in 3 sessions. Introduction to mental management, the mental management system, and mastering self-image change. That's what you're going to get into in those classes. You can also find where we're going to be with Joey Sauerland. Notably, M160 in the Dallas area is coming up at the end of the month. Richmond, California is going to be super cool at the Richmond Rod and Gun Club. There we have the opportunity to also shoot a match in there. And match mode coaching from me. So I don't fully understand the word invaluable. The way my mind works, right? Invaluable means indescribable value. Right? Inflammable. Is that flammable or not flammable? Is it very flammable? I don't know. But I do know match mode coaching from me, particularly in conjunction with mental management, there is no better way to understand how mental management works in a competition environment in real time. We're also doing the same thing in Knoxville, Tennessee. That's just with me. That is going to be an IDPA specific event. I am extremely good at getting IDPA shooters to their potential, because here's what you're going to do. Are you ready for this? Here's what you're going to do. You're going to shoot zeros without consciously slowing down. That's what you're going to do. Yeah, you learn how to do that. It'll be great. So check out AndersonShooting.com upcoming classes to see where we're going to be and what we're going to be doing. Now, why are you stuck in the middle of the pack? Why are you stuck in C class? Why are you stuck in B class? Why are you at 84.5% and you can't quite get into master class? Why are you stuck at 92 and you can't quite get enough GM runs to get your G? Why are you always in the top 15 at nationals, can't get into the top 10, can't get into the top 5? Why are you stuck where you're at? Let's examine that. Let's mention the unmentionables, right? Let's get this stuff figured out. So, you probably think it is skill. And it might be. It very well could be skill. So that's easy to fix. The only thing you need to do to increase your skill level in these practical shooting sports is to reduce the biggest numbers in the drill, in the stage. You've got to reduce the amount of time spent not shooting. That needs to be like the only goal of your training, and the only goal of your stage planning is to reduce the amount of time spent not shooting. Run a stage, run a drill, look at the biggest gaps. Okay, here's what you're going to find. You're going to find that non-shooting movement is the biggest gap. You can correct that with movement techniques. You can correct that by shooting while moving. You will find that shooting partials in the center of the available target area will reduce the amount of time spent not shooting. You can shoot those targets more aggressively with less risk, reduce the amount of time spent not shooting, not to mention reducing the risk. Transitions. I have a new drill for the Anderson Insiders that is going to revolutionize your transitions. And I might as well go ahead and tell you, we have got a series of classifiers that I'm designing for Anderson Shooting Insiders. The first one is available now. We will get that sent out to all of you guys very soon. And the very first classifier is ASI 2401, Anderson Shooting Insider Classifier. You're going to have the opportunity to shoot this and compare your scores with other insiders. Shoot this, compare your scores with Gaz, compare your scores with Jay Beal, of course. I'm super, super excited about it. This is going to revolutionize the Anderson Insider program. These classifiers will all use the same basic setup. So you can go to the range, do the same basic setup, and we're going to have dozens, if not hundreds, of variations on this. But the first one we're going to tackle is transitions. Transitions is the only technique that I'm aware of, well, combined with shot calling, et cetera, where it's possible to get faster and more accurate at the same time. If you're suffering from drag-ons and drag-offs, if you know what those terms mean, that's a function of doing transitions incorrectly. Probably right in the sight, in conjunction with not calling the shot, leaving the target as you pull the trigger, or starting to leave the target before you pull the trigger. This drill, this classifier will test those things and improve those things. Draws and reloads, time spent not shooting. Reaction time to the timer, time spent not shooting. That is a function of a shorter stage or a shorter drill. But let's face it, if you're trying to do something in 3 seconds, reaction time is 10% of that. Okay, splits is the last thing you want to go chasing from a skill perspective. Chasing splits is the greatest risk for the least amount of reward. Okay, be the last thing you want to do. So compare your skills to what the sport requires. And let's face it, if you're trying to get to A class, it's the top 25% of what a human being can do with a handgun. Master class, top 15% of what a human being can do with a handgun. Grandmaster, top 5% of what a human being can do with a handgun. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not. If you want to get to A class, M class, or G class, you need to be in the top percentile of what a human being can do with a handgun. And it's simply reps of a new limit of human function. That's all there is to it. Reps of a new limit of human function. That's it. And when that new limit of human function is normal, is available to you subconsciously, that's when you're going to get the A. That's when you're going to get the M. That's when you're going to get the G. But I don't think you're stuck there because of skill. And if you're stuck in the middle of the pack nationally, it is not because of skill. Now, if you're stuck in C class, there could be a skill component to that. But only if you're getting access to your current level of skill on demand. I don't think that anybody who's getting access, pardon me one second, I don't think that anybody who's training and getting access to their current level of skill is going to be stuck in C class very long. I just don't see it. You know, middle of the pack, that's a different story. We're going to come back to that. Now, it could be a strategy issue. Okay? If you're not getting a subconscious stage plan and shooting with a singular focus, it's a strategy issue. Okay? That needs to be your sole focus when you go to the match. Get a subconscious stage plan, singular focus. If you are not doing that, you are not going to get access to consistency. You're not going to get access to your current level of skill on a regular basis. And by the way, consistency, don't tell anybody. Shh, make sure nobody's listening here in the vault. Consistency is the quality of your thoughts and your ability to duplicate them. That's consistency. Learning what to think about before you shoot, while you shoot, after you shoot. That's what we're going to figure out. Okay? From a strategy perspective, are you looking for passing lanes in the stage, or are you playing it safe? That's one of the things that we talked to Jay Beal about, right? He talks about operating at a level where a mistake is likely, or more likely, or possible. It doesn't mean he goes into a stage expecting to make mistakes. It means he's beginning to choose plans, pardon me, that have an acceptable degree of risk. Let's call them passing lanes. Are you looking for passing lanes in your stage plans? Are you looking at the stage and go, okay, I'm going to play it safe here. I'm going to post up, play it safe. Or are you looking for passing lanes? If you're stuck in the middle of the pack, you need to be looking for passing lanes. You need to exploit passing lanes in your stage plan to reduce the amount of time spent not shooting. You need to learn to creep through positions as opposed to posting up. You need to learn to blend positions together as opposed to stopping here and stopping there. You need to expand your ability to shoot while moving. Right? You need to be practicing shooting while moving at a distance greater than you would ever employ it. When I was training for nationals, I would routinely shoot while moving from 25 to 28 yards. Probably would not ever take a shot in competition, 25, 28 yards while moving. But if I train that way, that means I can take a 12-yard target at a gallop if I train at 25 and 28. Pretty sweet. Okay? So, strategy. And the ultimate strategy error is the conscious control of speed. If you are consciously controlling speed in competition, that will certainly keep you in the middle of the pack forever. Because when you consciously control your speed, you will always be going too slow or too fast for the visual conditions. Always. You'll never get it right if you consciously control your speed. Think about how many times you've had a difficult shot for your first shot of the stage, right? We call that aiming in the holster. Oh, it's a 25-yard shot. Oh, it's an 18-yard mini popper. I got to slow down. I got to get my hit. Nonsense. Complete BS. Complete horse pucky. Okay, the conscious control of speed in competition is always going to be an error. That's just all there is to it. Okay, now, we covered skill. Not likely the problem. Strategy, potentially the problem. Okay, the real problem, if you've got strategy and skill, the real problem is confidence. That's the real problem. You don't expect to get it right because you don't know what it feels like to get it right, because you don't acknowledge when you get it right. You don't even know what you're doing when you get it right because you don't ever let yourself get it right. How can you know what you're doing when you get it right if you never let yourself get it right? So let's learn what it does. Let's learn to get it right. And let's learn what we're doing when we get it right. So when we talk about confidence, what we're of course talking about from a mental management perspective is confidence. Sorry, self-image. I got distracted by my computer controls. Self-image. Your self-image defines and provides what is normal. If it is normal for you to struggle on steel and you fix the potential technical issue with sight or trigger, but you don't change that habit and attitude, you're going to continue to struggle on steel. Okay? Self-image is also your habits. Okay? I always win. I always lose. I always choke. I always struggle. I'm always successful. Well, how can I always be successful? Well, you can start in training. If you utilize goal-based training, you will get accustomed to being successful. You will get accustomed to employ a strategy, to use your skills to be successful. That will be you. I am always successful on the range when I train. That's the guy that goes to the match. The guy that knows how to be successful and expects to be successful. Goal-based training is so powerful. That's something I can show you in the range classes. And if it provides your alwayses, doesn't it also provide your nevers? I never win. I never quit. I never miss training. Those things are true for as long as you believe them. If an athlete or a team gets in a slump, it's because they've become experts in losing. I had an interesting conversation with a high school girls softball coach. It wasn't a high school girl who was a softball coach. It was a softball coach for high schoolers who are girls. His team's in a slump. He goes, yeah, when they get the ball, they don't know what to do. And I said, okay, well, let me ask you this question. If they do get the ball, and they know what to do, can they do it? Sometimes. So here we have a strategy problem and a skill problem. A softball player doesn't know what to do when they get the ball. That's strategy. They're not able to make the throw to the correct position on the field. That's skill. We need to work on those things. But even if they know what to do when they get the ball and they're able to do it, but they don't believe they're going to be successful, now we have a confidence problem. You got to fix all three. You've got to fix all three. So if self-image is habits, it's also attitudes. The things that you like or love about shooting are going to go well. The things that you hate or don't think are important are not going to go well. Let's call these attitudes, settled or established ways of thinking or feeling about something. I love strong hand, weak hand only stages. I love hoser stages. I'm going to do those well. But I hate movers. I hate technical stages. I hate low hit factor stages. And I don't like partials. Those aren't going to go as well. And it doesn't matter how much you train, right? You can train the living crap out of strong hand, weak hand, low hit factor technical stages, but until you get over the fear or the hate or the dislike of them, they are always going to take your lunch money. It's not enough to train the skill. You have to change the attitude. I look forward to technical stages, technical matches. They are opportunities for me to prove that I'm the best shooter here. Okay? Now, the thing you got to understand about self-image, it is created, governed, and maintained by imprints. Okay? Sorry, I got to move my leg there. I can't be kicking the microphone because I think the audio is in pretty good shape. By the way, I'm so sorry for that miserable audio experiment we did about a week ago. Certainly apologize for that. We now test the audio to make sure it's going good. So not a problem. So imprints to your self-image are thoughts of ability and opinions that can be accepted or rejected. Hey, this stage plays to my strength. I'm pretty good at this. It's an imprint to self-image. Ooh, this has strong hand, weak hand. I'm not very good at that. It's an imprint to self-image. Okay? These imprints, these thoughts of ability must be highly controlled in training. And if they're not, this is the real reason why you are stuck in the middle of the pack. The real reason that you are stuck in the middle of the pack is negative imprints in training. Negative thoughts or opinions on skill or ability. I can't do this. I'm too slow. I'm too sloppy. This is the shooter that goes to the match. Self-image also provides your comfort zone. You're stuck in the middle of the pack because that's where you belong, bro. You know it and everybody else knows it. Now, what are you going to do to get out of it? Do you need a strategy change? Do you need more skill? Perhaps. What you really need is more confidence. What you really need to do is sign a lease for the top. Begin packing your stuff so you can move out of the middle of the pack and closer to the top. Imagine if you believed you belonged there. Oh, here we go again. You're telling me I can just sit over here and think my way into the super squad. Kind of. Haven't you noticed that most of the things that you predict throughout your day happen? Oh, there's my boss. I'm going to get my butt chewed. Oh, I'm going to fight with the wife again today. It's going to be one of those days. These are imprints to self-image that usually wind up being true. And it's interesting because most of the people in the middle of the pack nationally tend to win their local matches. Wherever they're from, they tend to dominate. And they know that when they get there. But what they also know is when they go to larger competitions, it's not going to happen. Because their thoughts of skill or ability are telling them they're stuck in the middle of the pack. It's not where they want to be. But what you're going to find in the middle of the pack, what you're going to find if you're stuck in a class, you're going to find conscious control of speed. You're going to find negative imprints primarily in training. Obviously, there will also be negative imprints during the competition as well, but most of the damage is done with negative imprints in training. And you can see it in their social media posts, right? I go out, never good enough. Okay, well, that's the guy that goes to the match. Now, I do want you to train until the wheels fall off. I do. It's the only way that you're going to expand your limit of human function, but you've got to control the imprints during that process. You're not struggling, you're learning. You're not sloppy, you're getting faster. Hey, I'm getting faster. Okay? That's the guy that I want to go to the match, the guy that's getting faster. That's what I really want. Okay? These imprints in training must be highly controlled. This is what you believe you're doing. I am getting better. And then what we can do. If you understand that your self-image, your habits and attitudes always provide the performance you expect, not the result you expect, that can get you into trouble, but the performance you expect. Okay? What we're going to do, primarily in mental management, we are going to instruct you on how to create a winning performance. And I lost half of you right there. I'm not interested in a winning performance. I'm interested in the winning performance. Well, that's great. How are you ever going to get the winning performance until you can create a winning performance? What is this second place participation trophy you're trying to give me? I'm not trying to give you anything. I'm trying to help you create a winning performance where you go out, you shoot your game like you, no regrets, minimal mental mistakes, and you're good. You may not win with that. However you define winning, class, division, overall, whatever it is, that may not give you a win, but it will eventually. When you learn how to create a winning performance and your self-image expects that every time, that is the environment in which training can turn your winning performance into the winning performance. This is the confidence that you need to get access to your skill. Okay? Let's review. Let's start with strategy. Strategies provided by the conscious mind. Okay? You're going to learn what to think about before you shoot, while you're shooting, and after you're shooting. We're going to call that strategy. The conscious mind is going to control that. You're going to learn that the quality of your thoughts and your ability to duplicate them will either provide consistency or make it elusive. We're going to show you how to do that. Okay? Skill. We're going to redefine training. You're not training to get better. You're training to make a higher level of skill available to you without conscious thought. Do you really know that? Do you understand that? I got to get better. What you got to do is make a higher level of skill available without conscious thought. That's what you have to do. PRS shooters. My top PRS shooters have a smaller list of things that require the conscious mind during competition. My middle of the pack PRS shooters have a larger number of things that require the conscious mind. Okay? I don't know that PRS can be as subconscious as USPSA or the practical shooting sports with pistols because they have wind to deal with. But I do know that my better PRS shooters are closer to that. They have a lower number of thoughts per second than the other ones. I for sure know that. Right? So, make a list of what your sport requires. Refine your ability to do these things without conscious thought. Confidence. Short-term and long-term. Short-term confidence is provided by positive imprints during the stage walking process. I know what I'm going to do, and I know that I can do it. As opposed to, I hate this stage and I hate my plan. This is stupid. I want to go home. Okay? Long-term, for the match and for your entire shooting career, think of self-image as having a hard drive and also RAM memory. The long-term opinions go into your hard drive and sort of form a green sector and a red sector. I'm just imagining a hard drive right now. And the whichever color is more dominant is going to be the general shape of your self-image, which will determine access to subconscious skill. Okay, what you got to understand about confidence is it is the only way to get access to subconscious skill. Therefore, ergo, the only way to get access to your training. Okay, well, how am I going to be successful if I'm never successful? That's because you don't ever allow yourself to be successful. In training, you're never happy. It's never good enough. You're always finding something wrong. Every run is either slow or sloppy. So you're always lacking. Let me just check my notes one more time, make sure I'm covering everything. Yeah. Think of all of your thoughts and opinions during training as ammunition in your ammo box. Okay? Every thought that you have in training about your shooting at the range or away from the range, think of it as a round in your ammo box. How many rounds in the ammo box are productive? How many are the right overall length? How many of them have the right amount of powder in them? How many of them are crimped correctly? How many of them have the primers in correctly? And then, how many of them are uncrimped? How many of them have a primer upside down? How many of them don't have any powder in them? Wouldn't it be great if every thought and opinion you had about your shooting was like a perfect little 9mm cartridge? Nice, shiny brass, well tumbled. Wouldn't that be something? If you take 200 rounds of ammo to a match, what if you took 200 thoughts and opinions of ability to the match that were good and productive? Hey, I can do this. Most of you, and for sure if you're in the middle of the pack, the thoughts and opinions that you're putting in your ammo box have not passed quality control, but yet you're taking them anyway. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I have done it again. Make sure that your thoughts and opinions about your shooting, collectively and individually regarding each one of your skills, make sure they pass quality control. Make sure they're visually inspected by your conscious mind for maximum productivity. Don't be taking that crap to the match. It's going to cause malfunctions. Holy moly. And then, the most important part, got to make sure I enunciate important correctly because people may be listening to my pronunciation of the word important as I mentioned the unmentionables. We are going to help you in mental management. We do the third entire class is about designing the athlete that can accomplish your goals. The person that can win nationals, the person that can get in the top 10, the person that can become a grandmaster, the person that can do whatever it is you want to do, have, or be, that person is currently not you. But what does that person look like? What is this person's habits and attitudes? What do they do on a daily basis? You probably know what you need to be doing. For starters, remember, guys, the mental management class is only $300. And I tried to make a video highlighting that. I just got a new iPhone recently, and I tried to make the video in cinematic mode. And then when I posted it to the social medias, it turned into a reverse negative. I looked more like Tom Morello than Slash in my Guns N' Roses T-shirt. I should have worn a Rage Against the Machine because I was of a much darker hue than the original film was. Whatever. We'll figure that out later. But if we examine somebody that can achieve your goals, what does that person look like? What kind of shape are they in? How much do they drive fire? How much do they live fire? What does their self-image look like? We're going to figure that out. Do they consciously control their speed? Probably not. Are they sloppy? Probably not. Are they slow? Probably not. You can become that person, but only when you identify the habits and attitudes that need to change. That's when it's going to happen. And I can help you do that better than anybody else in the world. So if you're stuck in the middle of the pack, go back and practice score, and let's find the problem. If the problem is excessive errors and penalties, that's 100% mental. 100%. If the problem is accuracy in general, that's 100% mental. The only way that's going to be skill, so let's put it this way. If you're in the middle of the pack nationally, it can't be skill, otherwise you wouldn't be in the middle of the pack. But practicing by itself can only get you to the middle of the pack. And that's why you're there, because you're only practicing. You still have a strategy problem, and you still have a confidence problem. Keep practicing. Go ahead. You've been doing it for years. Keep practicing without solving the strategy problem or the confidence problem. Keep at it. Let's see where it gets you. Or you can try something else. Or you can learn to control the conscious mind, figure out the right thing to think about before, during, and after you shoot, before, during, after you train, before, during, after a match. And then let's nurture and build that self-image so you expect to be successful. You expect a winning performance every time you go out, because remember, until you can create a winning performance, you will never be able to have the winning performance. Okay? And I was going to apologize for the fact that this may sound like a commercial for mental management, but I'm not going to do that. Because it is a commercial for mental management. That's exactly what it is. Because I want you to get out of the pack if you're willing to work for it. If you're willing to make some hard changes to your habits and your attitudes, then I want you to get what you deserve. Because right now you're getting what you deserve if you're stuck in the middle of the pack. Because you've got a strategy problem and a confidence problem. And I want to help you get out of that. I want to help you reach your true potential. Okay? That's what I want to do. So please go to andersonshooting.com, check out upcoming classes to see where we're going to be, what we're going to be doing. I would love to see you on the range or on the Zoom or on the phone sometime soon so I can help you reach your potential. What I have in common with Lanny Basham. Lanny Basham says in mental management we have two jobs. Identify a person's potential and help them get there. That's what I can do for you. Please go to, once again, to make sure I get all that out correctly, please go to andersonshooting.com, click on upcoming classes, see where we're going to be, what we're going to be doing, and I cannot wait to see you there. Until we meet again, be like me, do what I do, say it with me. 1, 2, 3, get to work.